Jen.
And we are here with another episode of Girlfriends Talk Marketing, coronavirus style with Zooming. So wish we would all be together, but here we are together on the screen. And thank you so much for joining us. We've got a great show today.
Fantastic. Today we have joining us Diana Aliberti. She is a 22-year veteran of direct sales and I can say this from having worked with her so closely, an innovation expert. So Diana, can you tell us a little bit more about what you've been working on?
So the first thing that happened, Jen, is when March hit, I think there were two camps. The first camp was, this is really lousy. I'm really tied to the way that I do my business. And I am looking at myself in terms of how my business was set up formally. And then there was another camp of people that decided, well, this is a crazy superimposed like situation on me, and I should recalibrate the things that I know that I should have done maybe a year, 2 years ago, or even 5 years ago. And so my mind immediately went to creativity, and in terms of like, okay, so now I want to get real about how I'm marketing my business virtually. And now it's more important than ever. And I might be behind a little bit, but I could use this opportunity to not only recalibrate, but get ahead of the curve. And so I think that you saw that people that kind of just hunkered down and decided that my model is my model. And then there was another group of people that decided I can put a new model on top of this, not lose my present model, but have like something in addition to that, an additional stream of income. And that's how I looked at it. Like, this is a whole new business model that's not going to cannibalize what I already have.
So you've been spending a lot of time on Facebook Live, and doing those kinds of things?
Right. So what happened, Jen, prior to COVID was that Facebook, for a lack of a better way to put it, had kind of jumped the shark and had lost their spot as like the #1 place for really actually interacting and socializing. And people, we know we're missing that piece, but it took that piece back and was actually like a lifeline for people in terms of some social time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, we saw a huge uptick in just the way that people were engaging with platforms. All of a sudden, we had only our email inbox and only our social networks to be connecting with people and, you know, kind of furthering those business conversations, and really kind of reverting back to phone, snail mail, you know, messaging, all that type of traditional, you know, communication styles that we are used to seeing. But technology, for better or worse, had kind of eroded the way that we were communicating before. And now we really had to rely on what's in my inbox, how am I communicating with my people on social networks, how can I physically or, you know, visually get in front of people without physically being there. And I love your perspective on it, because it's so true. There really were two camps of people that, you know, just really kind of said, hey, I'm using this as an opportunity to kind of understand a new way to do business, because even kind of when the pandemic is over, there's an opportunity for all of these businesses to incorporate the digital communication and kind of the way that people are engaging right now virtually. And some people might not ever want to go back to kind of doing, you know, the traditional meetings. So I think doing a hybrid approach going into 2021 is going to be really important to remember as well. It's certainly not ever going to go back to the way that it used to be, but I think we're going to see a little bit of a blend. So you're smart to kind of look at, you know, two new ways to approach business and communication. So in terms of some hurdles and challenges, obviously, this is all kind of a little bit out of our comfort zone. So can you explain some of the things that you dealt with and then how you overcame, you know, kind of just working through that?
Sure. Thanks so much. I think the biggest hurdle for most people, and this is really based on my discussions with people, is the Facebook Live. We know algorithmically that's what Facebook wants. So in terms of an individual doing a live, Facebook is going to prioritize you and put you in front of more people, especially because it's more interesting and less people are doing lives and it's more interactive. But also the number 2 person in terms of platforms is YouTube. So you've got Facebook, and then you've got YouTube, and YouTube is a video platform. So Facebook is jazzed about the fact that, hey, you might just go to Facebook and do some of your vids there, right? So Facebook is really, really loving that. And so there's a million things being dumped in every second in front of people. So how do you get what you're doing dumped in to more people? And so the number one thing that people, I think, need to recalibrate on, and I personally looked at recalibration on, was Facebook Lives, like hands down. The second thing is actually a mindset thing. I think people think that when you have a virtual business, it's simply to go on Facebook to sell, and Facebook is not set up to sell. Facebook's brand is not about selling. Facebook doesn't want you to do that, right? So if you've been selling on like Instagram, which is really the place that you might do that, you have to wrap your mind around the fact that, okay, I'm going to Facebook to make friends and generate leads. Make friends and generate leads. So most people don't look through that lens because they're like, I want to just go on there and say, hey, this is me and I've got something for you, right? So they put themselves into peddler status, and even if they think they're not being spammy, they've done the one thing that they don't want to be, and they don't even realize that's what they're doing. So they're not looking through the lens of like, wow, there's 4+ billion gazillion people. Well, it's 4.5 billion or something on Facebook. Approximately, there's more people than you'd ever dream of in one platform all at once, all around the world, right? So then how are you capturing those people? And you have to find a way to capture those people and staying true to what the platform or what the brand of Facebook is. And so that recalibration piece led me to leading completely with value, and it actually led me to actually leading with, let me promote someone else's business, because I'm the girl during COVID that can see beyond my own nose and can take the time to scatter sunshine, create normalcy and positivity. And so I'm going to take this time, this extra time that I've carved out for my business, and I'm going to give some of that back to my community, and I'm going to support these local businesses. And I have literally gotten so many new customers and have never, ever even mentioned what I do and what I sell. The natural reaction when you love on people and give to people first is that they in turn want to choose to support you, especially if you're a small business owner and you have American-made products. You're in a lane of your own. If you lead that way, it'll just happen organically.
So can you talk a little bit about what you've done in terms of building community? Because I know you do the Facebook Lives, but then you also have a group that you've started to get more people involved. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so it seems like I have all kinds of groups, but you can just set up a group, right? And that's really what you can do. So my husband and I actually decided to start a group about what's going on in our local community. I think it's really important to support your community, and it's just sort of an event page without any dialogue. So we throw up events and people can post their businesses in business information. So the group has grown to about 800 people, and so it's been around for about 1.5 years. But that's a really great idea. If you're looking to meet some people, why not just set up a group? It's so simple, it's easy, it's free. It takes minutes a day just to throw some really great information. And if you refrain from dialogue, you'll be in a lane of your own where it's just a fun place for people to go. You get branded as like the scattering sunshine expert, or however you want to put it, right? You get branded in a lane of your own because people want to argue right now. So if you're just in a lane where you're like, that's not what we're going to do, we're just going to give really great value, whatever then you do with those people in terms of reaching out to them, maybe friending them, and getting to know them a little bit, they are going to be so super receptive. And so in the past week, I have like 200 new contacts. I hadn't really taken the time to meet everybody personally, but I chose to start friending some people and actually then writing a note in their inbox, because we don't want to just friend, we want to actually create connection. And so I've done a lot of that, and people have been extremely receptive. I don't think anybody that starts a group really takes the time to reach out to the people in the group. I think that's a really great opportunity for people to see who you are and for you to create friendships, which will create your brand and your lifestyle.
That's so great. I love that too. It's so true. You don't just want to make friends. You do need to take that extra step, and it is work to build that connection and do that outreach. But as you know, you're proving, the rewards are abundant if you continue to do the right things. So how can people get in touch with you, and where can we follow you? How can we tune into your Facebook Lives? You know, give us all the details.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So if you find me on Facebook, just look for me at Diana Aliberti. That's my personal Facebook. I do lives every other day, business tips. Sometimes I do beauty tips, and then sometimes I just do random, today's national such and such day, because I do really want to have dialogue with people and get to know people. So that's so super fun. My business page is Diana Aliberti Direct. In there, if you're a business owner and you're looking for really great generic tutorials, information, I have lives, I have all kinds of things in there that you can access that would be really great. And it's all generic, all generic. So if you're looking to find out how to do a live, or what 5 things you'd need to know if you wanted to choose a home-based business, what to look for, all of that will be stored in there. And if you want to go in there and look at Diana Aliberti Direct. And I'm also in the process of building a website, but that's not up and running yet. So stay tuned for that.
Let us know when it is. We'll get it up.
Oh,
So let me throw you a curveball. What was your last business tip?
So my last business tip was, I just did how do you recalibrate your business, and I did a cheat sheet on 5 steps basically, but then I also because I just did a whole bunch, I just did one on what to look for if you were choosing a home-based business, like
Okay.
what lens should look, and it's all, I usually always pick 5 steps.
Oh, that's excellent. Easy to remember.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. And we'll definitely be sharing the information that'll be on the screen right after this. And thank you so much for taking the time. It's great to hear about all of the innovative things that you're doing and all the directions that you're taking.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your collaboration. I appreciate you guys, and you guys are doing some really great work. I'm so super excited to see what you've remastered or readapted and recalibrated. Are those real words?
Yeah.
They are. They are.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care.